Hey everybody, what is going on? Sorry if you're looking for the Red Zone World Tours of Goku. Again, I have those recorded. I'm planning on getting those out soon, but I have family coming in this weekend, so I'm not going to have time to do post commentary and editing those like I thought I would this weekend. They just surprised me, said, "Hey, we're showing up." But I'm recording this on Wednesday night. They said, "Hey, we're showing up tomorrow on Thursday," and they're going to be here all weekend. So uh, I'm going to try to get some videos recorded for Sunday. I don't have time to do post commentary, like I said. I've already said that. But anyway, we're doing a top 10 here of TURs. I'm sure you've already seen a lot of these on Twitter, but I wanted to go ahead and get my thoughts, which are going to be really jumbled. We're going to have to look up each character one at a time as I go through them and talk about them. This was really tough. There are a lot of characters I like, a lot of characters I don't like. One character in particular I haven't used, but I've seen showcases of all of these, so I feel like I can make a pretty good assessment of where I like these units. One thing I will say is that these are kind of tiered on the side here, and I may change this up as I go because there's a lot of characters. Like I could really just make two tiers and just have like a 1 through 5 and a 6 through 10, and I'd be pretty happy with that. And there's some characters that I could probably do like a 6 through maybe 13, 12 or 13, and be pretty happy with that as well. And just say that, like those are all just pretty much interchangeable depending on the situation and the luck you have with them, the buffs that their team gets in the future, what your box looks like, things like that. Oh, this is really tough. I'm thinking about who I have at number 10, and it's going to make people upset, but I felt like this character deserved to stay in the top 10. Let's go ahead and just jump in and talk about it, and that is going to be Ginyu. Now, this is going to upset people. People are going to look at this and they're going to think I'm an insane person. But I really think Ginyu is underrated at the moment as a character. People like to say his team has fallen off, right? Because like like they pretend like we've gotten this crazy difficult content that has aged out the characters that he came out with, and we really haven't. His team can pretty effectively no item like every red zone stage we have. Now they are starting to. I will say his team is probably not the best for the 8th anniversary Sin Shinron fight, but to me that's okay because like a top 10 unit for me and a top 10 TURs, like if I can bring him into every red zone stage, every extreme super battle road, all the legendary Goku events, I can take him into EZAs. He's like my backup battlefield team. If I can do that, to me that deserves to be in the top 10. One fight he's not great in, great. We could say the same thing about like Yamcha down here. One fight he's not good in Broly, and plenty of people have him in their top 10s. So I don't really see the problem with Ginyu. Again, people like to say his team's fallen off, but it's the same team that came out whenever Red Zone first came out, except better because we've gotten a few LR buffs, the free to play LRs. Where is he? He's going to be. Where's Ginyu? Hello? GIN? Is it not? Is he under Captain? Is he under Captain Ginyu? That's stupid. But anyway, go ahead and pull this up. I didn't pull these up in advance because I didn't want to spoil it up here, and then I also, you guys know me, I have 100 tabs up here. I can't keep them straight, so his leader skill is definitely not good. Like this is clearly intended to just be a Ginyu Force leader, is what he is. He's stacking defense. He can triple super. He has good start of turn stats. He supports he gets more attacking defense per Ginyu Force category ally. He supports Ginyu Force category allies. He's effective against all types when there's another Ginyu Force category ally in the turn. I think this mid-turn heal is pretty underrated. People look at his links and they're definitely not good, but at least at link level 10, they're pretty good, and you can get these active with like his banner units. Raccoon and Goldo haven't fallen off at all. They're still very powerful. I remember whenever the Cell Max mission first got or the Cell Max event first got category missions, and we got the special pose mission. I actually beat it the first time with Ginyu's team. I found it much easier than Gamma 2's team. I had way more luck with this guy. I think I beat it on like my second try with this team, as opposed to, I think I tried about 10 times with Gamma 2, and every single time I got to that last phase with Gamma 2, just whichever Gamma 2 I had on rotation would just get one-shotted off the field. And then I just did it with Ginyu's team, and I did it like first try, so I think that was with the support memory up, but I didn't have to use Senzu's, I believe. Just because basically in that fight, if you get supered, you either dodge it or you just get 1 to 0'd. I think Raccoon and Goldo can tank it. Jason Birder can tank it after they super. Mine are built full dodge too, by the way, so they have like a 65. I think they have 30 dodge, so they have like a 65% chance to dodge. The way that works is they have a 50% and then a 30%. So um, your hidden or your passive dodge will fail 50% of the time, at which point it'll roll your hidden potential chance, which is a 30% chance. So, and that'll activate 30% of the time, 50% of the time. So that's 15% of the time. You add that to the 50% that it'll succeed. 65% chance for mine to dodge. Pretty good. And they do tend to dodge decently often. I would say about 65% of the time. So I do think Ginyu is underrated. I think just everything he's doing here, then he transforms here. He has a scouter somewhere down here when Jace is on the team, which isn't hard. And then I usually like to run STR Jace as my sixth unit on the team. That's really all this team is missing. If we get, people are gonna laugh, but if we get a monster Zarbon for this team, like a modern Dokkan Fest monster Zarbon, that's as good as the 17 unit, at least, right? Which you would expect because they would be coming out after that 17, or even they're coming out. He would be coming out after this 23rd World Tournament celebration. You would expect him to be at least somewhere around that level. This team can probably even compete in that Sin Shinron fight for the 8th anniversary at that point. Because really the only weakness is you usually just need one more character on the team to make it solid. And that STR Jace can actually tank the Metal Cooler Core super attack. I say tank, they can survive. Which really that's all you need on this team. So I don't know. I think this team's underrated. It's just that people aren't using them right now because the team's not getting buffs. And I think some people are scared to run the full Ginyu Force team because they don't trust them. So then they're not seeing Ginyu at full power. But I don't know. I haven't had any trouble. Somebody made a post on Twitter a while back that was like, "Oh, can the Ginyu team even no item the Gammas?" And it's like, well, yeah, they can, and I did it, and it was just fine. So anyway, that's who I have at number 10. Keep in mind that I don't know if I could really see him up at 8, but maybe. I'm trying to remember who I have next here. I think I have them, and I'm probably underrating this unit. But I don't like this unit, the 17s here. Let me go ahead and pull them up so that we can talk about what they do. I'm not too familiar. I know they have a lot of build-up in there. How do I even get to 17? Oh, I guess it'd be under Android, wouldn't it? Oh, no, not Cyberman. Get out of here. A for Android. 17. Let's go here. Here we go. There they are. So, join forces and target Goku. This, honestly is not a great leader skill. Just, I don't know. Maybe this is okay. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't think this is good. It doesn't help that their banner unit sucked on release, too. Let's see. They raise defense for 1 turn. They stack attack. I mean, this is good, right? Because, don't they have an active skill? No, their active skill is just the fusion. They don't have another active skill here. But it'll still make this guy hit really hard once you get him out. Key 2, attacking defense 100%. All allies attacking in the same turn are extreme class. See, here's the issue. They gave us that MVP 17, right? Who's not on their team. And you don't even really want to use them with him because they get an extra 70% attack and defense when all allies are extreme. So, what? I guess you can run him with them, and he gives, what, 60% support to all allies? Is that right? I don't remember, but it's somewhere, it's 60 to 70%, so I guess it kind of makes up for the defensive side of this, but you're still missing out on the extra attack and the key, which I guess they don't really need because they have Android links, so I don't know. Additional 70% attack and defense when performing a super attack, additional attack and immune chance becoming a super, additional super for 4 turns from the start of turn when there's a super class enemy, chance performing a... See, this is another bad deal because most, every single boss in the game right now is, extreme class, except for the Gammas, who I've started rotating into showcases, so cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this unit's undertuned. I don't really like their transfer. Any condition that has a turn and an HP condition, I don't really like. Specifically if it's HP is X percentage or less. Those I'm not really ever a fan of. I feel like it's easier to plan around whenever they're X HP and more, because you can always, people say like, "Oh, use items is bad," but like you can always use an item and get this. You can't use an item if it's like if you're above, let's say this needs to be HP, or yeah, exactly as it is. If it's HP 70% or less, and you're at 80% and you really want to transform, well, you just can't. Like you can't use an item to lose health at the moment. So whereas you can use an item to gain health. And so far, there is not an event that bans all items, at least in terms of difficult content. So I don't know. Maybe my opinion will change whenever this unit comes out. And then you get this guy out though, and he like it takes forever to build this guy up, doesn't it? Like I don't get it. Like you're already gonna get this guy late into the fight, and then he does that, and then like this isn't guaranteed. Like I don't like this unit. I don't like the design of this unit. I don't like their leader skill. I don't see myself using them ever. I'm gonna summon. I'm gonna get one copy of them and then be done with the banners. So I don't know. Maybe I'm underrating them. Probably. Let me know if I am. Uh, I don't know. I really like Ginyu. This unit probably is better because like this unit is okay. I don't like this. I don't know why they feel the need to just shaft Super 17s, and I don't like this. I don't know. Let me know if I'm crazy about that unit, but I figure most of you guys are global players, so you don't know either. We're gonna go ahead and throw this guy on here. He's good. I like the Vegeta and Trunks team. This guy works great on the Vegeta and Trunks team. Not much more to say about that. I find that he's generally very consistent, which I like. Um, Not much more to say about Majin Vegeta here. I mean, I can go ahead and pull him up if you want to look at him, but I don't really think we need to. His leader skill's not really a factor. Really, all three of these, like their leader skills aren't really factors to me. Like you're not running these teams to me. To me, these are like supporting characters for like better teams, except for Ginyu. Like Ginyu is a leader, but the issue is that he only leads like one team, and it's not extensive. It's like he leads 6 units. Like I guess you can use them as a leader, but I don't know that you really want to. Like they're waiting for like a something. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they're waiting on something else to come out and help them. Kind of like this guy. This guy was waiting on help. I think that's kind of what they're doing right now. I mean, this guy. What do I say? This guy's consistent on the Vegeta and Trunks team. I mean, that's about all I can say about that. I mean, he performs his role on that team. That's where he is good. He's very limited because you're not running his team, and he's only on one team. I mean, that's about all I can say about that. Next up, we have Gamma 2, which probably sounds crazy to a lot of people. Most of you know, if you've watched videos for a while, that I'm not a huge fan of offensive-based units like Gamma 2. Units that I'm like relying on them to do multiple attacks, to have decent defense, characters that just like build up doing multiple supers, multiple attacks, things like that. Generally, I am not big fans. Gamma 2, though, does have extra pieces in his kit that make him like better than most units, though. Like, whereas I really probably am not a big fan of STR Cooler, there are things in Gamma's 2 kit that I like because to me this guy is just like baby, if not better than actually STR Cooler. Um, because they're very similar, right? But what makes this guy different is right down here. This last little line in his passive, the all allies key to attack 30% and high chance of nullifying super attacks, key-based super attacks directed at this character. I think that's what really sets this guy apart from like other offensive characters that I'm not really a fan of, is that like this is what's going to really allow him to age well, because one of these things about these Gamma units, right, is that you really want to use them next to each other. Like for sure, they are at their best whenever they're next to each other. Just all these links that just come like into full power whenever they're next to each other. But this support here allows them to work well on teams like movie heroes and superheroes, and I don't know, eventually like Defenders of Justice if that has a good team. And really, these links are actually decent for that. Like if we got like a Topo that transforms into God Topo, he'd probably have this link, right? Or I'm sorry, this link right here, and he'd probably lead this team, and that would allow him to work well, though, right? Is that little bit of extra support that allows him to just age well. And then the Ki Blast super attacks, there's not as many Ki Blast super attacks these days, but they do still occasionally, enter the game. So just having that is nice. It really helps him against units like, right now the biggest fight it's going to help you against is Broly. But yeah, this guy, he also builds up crit chance, which Cooler doesn't do. Just things that I like. Whenever in my mind, I think of Gamma 2 and Cooler STR LR Cooler is very similar units, but Gamma 2 just has like Cooler's kit, but more. Cooler doesn't have this build up crit. Cooler doesn't have this support. Cooler doesn't have the Key Blast nullification, although he probably should. Like, why didn't they give him the like they should have given him like a counter where he swims through the Kamehameha and like punches the enemy. They should have given him that. I don't know. I guess they're saving that. They're keeping that in their bag for later. A pretty decent leader skill. You can definitely run this as a legitimate team. So there is that too. So I think that the units above Gamma 2 are better, but Gamma 2 is definitely better than these units. So that's kind of why I have him in his own tier here. Who do we have next? Oh, I know who we have next. Don't I? Hang on. Who? Yeah, I know who we have next. Do I know who I have next? It's this guy. I'm going to do that. I'm going to fill in this tier. These two are so close to me. Uh Gamma 1 is very good. Gamma 1 is very consistent. What I normally I have Kid Goku. I actually have it like this. Like 9 times out of 10 I have it like this. Whenever I was doing the Piccolo showcase, I was using the Gammas a lot. And I never had to really worry about Gamma 1 most of the time. And another thing that I really like about him is that he has Cold Judgment. If I go back here to the Gammas, Gamma 1. Right now I'm really high on Orange Piccolo's team and the characters on that team. And I think a staple on that team right now is going to be that new Easy A physical Piccolo. And kind of what I talked about with Gamma 2 and how this guy has support, or how Gamma 2 has support, this guy also has that support. Except his is defense, which I like, a lot more. This is just going to help you out. Like, you can run this guy as a floater, and he's going to be just fine. I like to run Orange Piccolo and STR Piccolo, and then like Orange Piccolo and Physical Piccolo. On those rotations where you have this guy next to like Physical Piccolo, he's going to have that Cold Judgment link active as a floater, which he can't even get next to Gamma 2, right? I mean, you can still run this guy, you can still run them as like a rotation, and then have like Orange Piccolo as a floater, and like that Physical Piccolo as a floater if you really wanted, and then he'd be able to pick up Cold Judgment that way, but still, most of the time, you're going to want to run this guy in slot 1. But he does nicely slide into the floater role, just giving, your team key and defensive support. He does have a great chance of evading unarmed super attacks. Keep in mind, it's no longer truly like an evasion. These are now nullifications on JP, so you do have to keep that in mind. And there are a number of unarmed super attacks. I think Tech Broly in the Broly fight does one. I think the Int Metal Cooler Core does one. Trying to think of other ones. Some of the Red Zone Wicked Bloodlines, I think, what is it? Is it the Int Cooler who does like the foot stomp? I think that's one. Trying to think of other ones just off the top of my head. I can't think of any at the moment. But yeah, other than those, the Metal Cooler Core, Int Cooler, which that Int Cooler does hit pretty hard. That like Final Form Cooler and that Wicked Bloodline stage. He was eating Tech Goku's lunch, by the way. I have all those showcases recorded of Tech Goku, so I have a really good idea of where Tech Goku is, to me, like in the current meta. But I haven't finished Piccolo's yet, but Piccolo's been curb stomping everything, even on his own team that's just like super weak. You should get Piccolo in there, and you do not worry. If that kind of gives you an idea of what's to come on the rest of this list. But again, basically the same thing as Gamma 2 here. He doesn't have all the crazy additionals, but what he does have is he builds up damage reduction, and he has guard for the first few turns. I mean, this is about the best that you can hope for from like a TUR, honestly. Like, it doesn't get much better than this. I mean, he's balanced for the time he came out. He has started to, fall down because we are getting crazier units at this point. He leads a pretty decent team. Again, Movie Heroes is just going to be solid for a long time, it seems, like the way they're buffing categories. I would not be surprised if we got another Super Saiyan Goku from the Broly movie for Worldwide. So, I mean, you be prepared for that, I guess. Artificial Life Forms, not the best lead in the world. But, Movie Heroes, Worthy Rivals, Accelerated Battle, this 200% with those is very solid. So I like this character. Like I said, I think what really pushes him over the edge right now is just his synergy on the Orange Piccolo team. Not to say that Goku doesn't have synergy with a meta team, but this guy can just, like, You don't have to ever worry about this guy at the moment. Like, maybe if you get unlucky building him up and his guard's worn off and you're up against like Tech Cell Max, but I don't know. Even then, this guy is pretty solid. So that's where we have him. And then Kid Goku. You guys know I love Kid Goku. For the longest time, I actually thought people were kind of underrating him a bit because I really went back and forth between him and Gamma One as to like which one I should rank higher because this guy is doing so much. His team is actually pretty decent. You wouldn't like looking at it, you wouldn't think it is, but I mean, this guy's got Jackie Chun on there, who's very good. Youth. You can get like that AGL Kid Gohan is coming up on an easy A sooner than you think, and then Exploding Rage, you get like your Beast Gohans, characters like that. Like this is actually a more solid leader skill than you would expect, and what really makes it good is this Bond of Friendship. There's a lot of characters on Bond of Friendship. Um, yeah, greatly raised attack. Like he doesn't get any defense on super attack. I'm definitely not a fan of that. But he works so well with Android 8 too. Like Android 8 just locks down slot 1 for this guy. Then you put this guy in slot 2, and there's not much that can take him out after he supers. I have mine built full dodge, so that there's a decent chance that even if we do get supered, it's not going to hurt this guy. He's a Rainbow Orb Changer. He's supporting like his 2 main categories up here that are going to need help. He can give damage reduction support, which isn't much. This 8% isn't crazy, but I mean, it can help. I swear I've survived turns because of this little extra 8% damage reduction. So, I don't know. Very good character, very good synergizer. Because, like, to me, Rainbow Orb changing is basically giving key support. It might actually be better than just straight up, like, I don't know, 2 key support, 3 key support. Like, would I say, like, this is equivalent to, like, 4 key support? Maybe. Like this character for the longest time was like the only shred of hope that Beast Gohan had to be relevant because of the Rainbow Orb changing. So, and a very good active skill. I've had this come in clutch several times just because it can be activated when HP is 59% or less. He has a very good condition on it. If this character was getting defense on super attack, I think there'd be an argument for him to be number 1 or something. Like, it's crazy. So yeah, but I would put those two. I could see those two just swapping around depending on the mood I'm in. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the tier list, and this is probably going to upset people, but it is what it is. And listen, again, this is so close. This is incredibly close, and I'll talk about it. Kale, we'll just start with Kale. We'll just talk about Kale really quickly. The only reason she's not like number 1 is because she doesn't have a team. She doesn't have a team. She sucks. She doesn't have a partner. She needs a slot 1 partner. You get her a slot 1 partner, I probably jump her up to number 1. Because that's all she needs. She is so dominant, but she does not have what she needs, and it doesn't seem like Dokkan is in any mood to give her what she needs. So here she is set to fester. But that being said, even without the extra partner, she is so good. What is it, turn 4? You just got to wait until like turn 4, and then she is cooking. You just put her in slot 1, and she is fine. Even with the, them just refusing to buff her team. So yeah, what is this? Transformed, activated from the 4th turn with Caulifla. Yeah, luckily they did Easy A, Kale, and Caulifla. They're not the craziest Easy A ever, but they are good, right? And they're just not what she needed. She needed a slot 1 unit because she doesn't really have anybody that can hold down slot 1 for the first couple turns. I think her team is a little bit underrated, but Universe 6 sucks. Let's get it, like, this sucks. Transformation Boost, though, I think is better than people give it credit for. And it's not like you need to run a full Universe 6 team, right? You just need a Universe 6 category ally attacking the same turn. So you can get, like, a floater on there, and you can, well, you really need her. You need a couple floaters. So you need, like, what? So you need her. You'll have a friend if you're running her team. I don't know. But, like, what really holds her back is the Universe 6 condition and Universe 6 just being complete and total doo-doo butter. Yeah, I mean, then she transforms, and this Super Saiyan 2 Kale is insane. Like, this girl comes out, and you win. I mean, that's just how it works, right? But sadly, doo-doo butter and doo-doo butter. So, I don't know what to tell you about that. Anyway, listen, this is tough. These two are so tough. I'm not even going to pull up their pages because, I don't know, I'd rather just sit here and talk about them. Okay. Let's just start from the top. God Goku. He leads Pure Saiyans and what? Hybrid Saiyans, I believe. we're gonna pull him up because I'm already forgetting what they do. Let's go to Goku. Where is he? There he is. Super Saiyan God Goku. There we go. Pull him up. Yeah, pure hybrid Saiyans. This is the part I couldn't remember. Power of wishes and exploding rage. He leads an insane 200% leader skill. Even without the 200%, like ignore this part. Pure and hybrid Saiyans. I mean, does it get better than this? Like I don't know that it does. Like maybe bond of parent and child is better because like this doesn't include Vegeta and Trunks on it. But this is a ridiculous leader skill. Like like definitely top 3 in the game leader skill. Like just on its own. So there's that. He's stacking. He gets guard somewhere in here. He gets a really good chance to dodge. Like I don't ignore this. I don't even consider this a thing. Like most of the time, if I'm getting this, it's just to finish off the enemy and look flashy and make shorts. But like this character, I never like throughout my entire use of using this God Goku, I have never had to worry about this character. But again, let's just start at the top. Pure Saiyans, hybrid Saiyans. That's his leader skill. Let me go ahead real quick. I'm going to cut. All right, sorry. I need to make sure that I wasn't going to like expose myself there. Earthbred fighters are powerful comeback. This is a good leader skill, but I don't really know that Earthbred fighters or powerful comeback is better than pure hybrid Saiyans. It's close because this is going to have a lot of your characters on it, but this doesn't have like any Vegetas on it. I mean, you can have a few of the reviving ones are on it, but this is only going to have like your Goku and your Earthlings on it, right? I don't even think this has androids on it. So this is definitely like a good category in that it has Gokus on it, sure. But this has Goku's on it, and Vegeta's on it, and Trunks is on it, and Gohan's on it, and Goten's on it. And it's just like, as long as this would have like Goku and Gohan characters on it. Neither have like Vegeta and Trunks on them. So, I don't know. But I'm going to give like the edge to God Goku's leader skill here. Let's look at their super attack effects. I'm going to give the edge to God Goku again because he's stacking. If we look at their passive, this is where it gets tough. I think God Goku is better up until here. I think this is where God Goku becomes better. Or I'm sorry, this is where I think Tech Goku becomes better. And I think this is just like true with any unit. I think you get this active and I think it becomes the best unit in the game. My experience with this character has been most of the time you see this Goku. You don't see this Goku too often unless it's at the very tail end of the fight. Occasionally, I think one time in the showcase I revived on like turn 3, and then this Goku was like a dominant, insane monster, and I was like, wow, like this dude is insane. But if you don't have this active, this guy's a coin flip character. I don't like that. I don't like not having consistency. This Goku is very consistent. Even after his intro wears off, like most of the time you can run a lot of orb changers with this guy. Like you can run 3 or 4 God Gokus on the God Goku team and you'll be fine. Because you just run like the other 2 as floaters. You have like a God Goku in slot 1, like this guy. And then you have like Tech God Goku in slot 3 who created rainbow orbs. Well, most likely this guy can still get his 6 orbs. So he's still guarding and he still has a 60% chance to dodge and he's stacking. Like, you have Kid Goku, who's creating rainbow orbs. You have so many rainbow orb changers. You have Tech Vegeta on his team, who's giving that huge amount of support. Like, I think that Tech Vegeta support is actually kind of underrated. You can just feel when that is active. And I don't know, like, running this guy, I found it so consistent, so easy. I have never had an issue getting the 6 orbs. And on turns where I have had issues getting 6 orbs, I can still usually at least get 3 to make sure he has the dodge chance. And mine's built full dodge. So he just dodges, right? So, like, I have had no struggles using this character. I've never, like, been like, oh, man, we're going to lose because of this character. I am terrified using this Goku. I put him in tough situations, and I'm like, all right, let's see. I'm putting you here. I'm trusting you, and then he fails me. This guy failed me. I have a folder of failed videos because of this guy not guarding. I've put him in situations where it's like, okay, we're going to put him right here, hopefully there's not a super attack, and then there it is, and he takes, it's like, oh great, you have 1,000,000 defense, oh, you're still taking like 700k damage from this super attack, like, congratulations, Oh, and so, like, I don't trust this guy until this happens. And this could definitely be a case of global like bias because I don't have the 8th anniversary LR on my account, the Goku, the GT Goku, and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, where apparently it's just the easiest in the world to revive. You can revive as soon as you need to, and then this guy's a god, and then they're gods, and everybody on the team is just like insane, right? It could definitely be because of that. But as it sits right now, I'm trying to get a snapshot of what I feel like the global meta is right. Is like, even though, listen, ignore these two. I'm talking about the global meta. Ignore them. Like, I could take them out. We could shift some people up and then throw like these two on here probably. Maybe the tech androids. I hate Yamcha. Fuck Yamcha. But I'm terrified using this character. I can't like. To me, right now, God Goku just feels much more consistent throughout all the content that we have right now. And I like his team better. Like I said, I think he's more consistent. His links are definitely better. If anybody says that Tech Goku's links are better than this guy, like, do you play the game? Do you play the game where this guy is prepared for battle over in a flash and shocking speed? Like, no, you don't. You don't play the game. Like, ooh, guess what, guys? We got World Tournament Champion, Incredible Adventure. Like, these are decent links for like the characters that you want to use with them, but they're not like growth links, if that makes sense. Like, these links may or may not age well. We will see. Whereas if I was a betting man, I would be putting money on these links to age better. But I digress. That's kind of what I'm thinking with these two. I'm gonna go ahead and close that one, and then let's talk about Dad. This dude is insane. I, like I said, I am normally not a big character or a big fan of offensive characters. That's I see offensive characters and I don't go crazy. But this guy is simply built different. He is really like if you took Orange Piccolo and made him like a terrifying conqueror's leader, basically. What I will say is that both of these characters for sure have actually probably these two and maybe these three all have stronger leader skills than this guy. This guy's leader skill is not great. Gifted Warriors is okay. That's like all the Piccolos, the Vegetas. That's about the only thing you got. Oh, and the Golden Freezes. You got that going for you with this. Terrifying Conquerors, oh boy, is not in a great place. We need like an LR baby. I don't like an LR baby right after the celebration would be so good. Like if we went into a grade 8 baby after this, or just like a super baby 2, and then the Easy A, the LR AGL grade 8 baby. Like this guy needs that so bad. Because Terrifying Conquerors is really not in a good place. I know people think it is, but let's go ahead and pull this up. Cooler is okay sometimes. That's about all I'm going to give him. He can go crazy or he cannot. Mine's at 90%. I promise that extra 10% is not making me underrate him. I don't really like this guy. You can't use Ginyu on the team. This character needs an Easy A. This guy doesn't really work super well with Piccolo Jr. He works okay with him, but he's missing big bad bosses, which is like not good. If like we're nowhere near this guy's Easy A, we really want a part 2 young DKP to drop that has big bad bosses. Like please Dokkan drop that. They Easy A'd this guy. I just want to remind you, this guy has Easy A'd. This unit sucks. No, this unit aged out so fast. Sucks. Horrible. Needs an Easy A. They're holding on to this for something. Hopefully this year we're getting the baby celebration. This guy's Easy A'ing. This guy's not good enough. We just talked about this guy. This guy's only for the Ginyu team. This guy sucks. This guy is occasionally okay in tech fights. This guy's super undertuned and needs to be run with like space traveling warriors, which Piccolo is not. Already talked about this guy. They suck. This guy's super undertuned. He's aged out. He's a gamble. He's okay, but gamble sucks. Ginyu Force team. Point me. Oh, this guy. Some people are like, oh, this guy shares like 4 links. No, this guy sucks. I tried to bring him like 3 different times, and he sucks. This guy sucks. I'm sorry to say, horrible. This character is okay, but needs to be against a superclass enemy, which we don't really have right now. And even then, you really need him to transform, and you're just at the mercy of RNG at that point. Tech characters. Let me know if you see any here that look good to you. Yeah, Frieza and Sorbet. Is that good? Is that what we want? Terrifying Conquerors. All right, speak. Garlic Jr. already needs his EZA. I say already. He's actually getting pretty old at this point. We need Garlic's like Jr. from the movie or something. I don't know. We need a new Garlic Jr. Anybody? This guy's EZA. We need that. We need that soon. Uh, yeah, this guy. Woo! The wine enjoyers. We need this guy's EZA. We need a Dokkan Fest. This guy being a Dokkan Fest would help this team out so much. But yeah, that's what Terrifying Conquerors is looking like. So don't let this trick you. And then we all know about Giant Form. Here's the thing, though. You get out of this guy's way. You have two of this guy, and then you just kind of need characters around him who can kind of live, which both of these can do. You can get Orange Piccolo on here. You can get STR Piccolo on here. You can get that Tech Vegeta on here that guards. And they may not be under 200%. Some of them will be, but, not all of them will be. But you get all of them on here, and guess what? They do just fine. Like you can absolutely. I've gone through some of this guy's no item runs, and this guy looks great. I'm more worried about the other units, but I just need to make sure that this guy is in a position to succeed, and everybody else can just get out of the way. He builds up so fast. I really enjoy this character because he doesn't need to get hit. Like, if we look at this character doesn't need to get hit, which is a good reason why I like him. This character needs to get hit. I don't think she needs to get hit. This character needs to get hit. And I think that's it on this top 10 list. But I feel like a lot of LRs need to be hit, and like a lot of the characters that you run on these teams need to be hit. And I'm tired of characters needing to be hit. So this guy getting supers, I'm like, yes, thank you. I can play around that. And then also he has this AoE active skill that can be activated when facing multiple enemies or under 50% HP starting from the fourth turn. Super powerful. This guy, he activates his AoE, and it is insane. Need to get some water there. It also counts as super attacks against multiple enemies. So, like, if you're up against 5 enemies and you do the AoE, you now have his full passive built up, and the enemies are probably dead. I'd been saving the final trump card, Extreme Super Battle Road, no item run, for the 8th anniversary whenever we got, like, some more final trump card buffs. But then this guy came out, and I ran it in 3.5 minutes, and I was not even, like, trying to speed run it. I literally just hopped in. I said, let's just see how Piccolo does in here. I was at work. Had like all the skips on. I was just going through the stage. I didn't even realize it, and I was at like the final stage, and I was like, "Oh, like we win!" And that it was insane, like how good this guy is in Extreme Super Battle Road. Like he completely fodderizes it. And then he's also just really good in Red Zone. You can use him in the Sin Shinron fight effectively. This giant form is very good in comboing it into the active skill. Don't forget that his active skill disables the action of every enemy it hits once. I mean, this guy just has so much technique, I feel like, that just, I don't know, I really like this character. I don't ever feel nervous whenever this guy's on the field. I kind of feel nervous a little bit about his team members that are out here, but this guy is just so dominant that it's just like, oh, that character is going to get hit in slot 2. I can put this guy in slot 1, and he's probably going to just take out the enemy. Now, keep in mind, his active skill doesn't quite work like the blue fusions from the 5th anniversary. You will still get the attack and defense buff for activating it in slot 2, but you won't get this additional super attack in slot 2 or 3, so that is a knock on him. I'd say probably my biggest complaint with this character overall is that all of these additional attacks that he has, this medium chance of launching an additional, high chance of launching an additional super attack, and this high chance of launching additional super attack in slot 2 or 3, all of those are just high chance to launch additional super attack. None of them are launches an additional attack that is a high chance of being a normal. So what that means is, like, if it's the second way that I described, it'll be a guaranteed normal attack that has a high chance of proccing in being a super attack. You want that because that gives you a higher chance of proccing your hidden potential attack, and I think it has a higher chance of proccing this attack right here. So, like, let's say you get like the medium chance to proc, and it's just a normal. That normal attack could proc this. So, anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking right now for the top 10. I do kind of have these guys ordered down here. I think, like, honorable mention Tech Gohan. I could probably just, like, do this if I really wanted to. but we'll keep it like this. I don't really like Bardock, but I do like his Scouter for the first 5 turns. That is so helpful. Um, but I don't like him enough to put him in the top 10. I do not like him. After those 5 turns, he's not providing anything to the team other than death. I mean, that's all he's doing. Whereas like Ginyu past the first 5 turns is at least getting stronger. And like with buffs to his team, he could become like, I don't know, even like 7 again, right? If you get him like a really high powered Dokkan Fest on his team that's like, at least Kale's level or something. So like this guy could still jump like up in the top 10, whereas this guy I think is just capped out. And I just like you can get this guy all the partners in the world, and he's not going to jump up to like 7 because he peters out after 5 turns, and I don't like that. This character still has a lot of tech. They're very dominant in any fight that has a Ki Blast super attack. So like Broly, STR Sin, who else? I'm sure like some of the coolers and freezes have beam blasts, so they're still very effective, and they have a lot of technique with that Ghost Usher ability. So I'm going to keep them here for now. I hate Yamcha. I'll be honest with you. I hate that this guy. You can build this guy however you want. He peters out. Like you have turn 1 and turn 3, and then he sucks. Like he sucks after that. He is a over glorified UI Goku at that point with a worse chance to dodge. And I don't like. This guy reminds me of like STR UI Goku, who just always sells me and never dodges. So I hate this character. Um, STR Goku and Gohan fell off hard. They take too long to get into Gohan, and then once you get into Gohan, you still have to build him up. It's kind of the same situation as them, but I like their base form better than this guy's base form. Their base form kind of blows. I don't like Pan. I think Pan's like team sucks. I think her partners suck. She sucks in her role as a slot 1 unit. The only reason you use her is to maybe try to tank, or not tank, nuke. Like that's her only value. Cell, I don't like. I think his leader skill sucks. I think he sucks for his team. His links are bad. Cell is just bad. Raditz, I think Raditz is a little overhated. I think he and the Resurrection F Blues are like the same tier actually. But at least this guy like leads Pure Saiyans. These guys lead a dead team and just suck. like, at least with Raditz, he's like funny bad. These guys are disappointing bad, so I don't like them. Kid Gohan still has a little bit of tech. I like him. You can use him in red zone stages decently effectively because he's stacking defense. He has good links. He shares All in the Family with this guy, and Beast Gohan, and he just supports all allies, and he's got the heal, and he can guard for 1 turn after he does his active skill. He can stun in some fights. I don't know. I find this guy to be decently effective in red zone as like a fringe option. PyCon's on here because he can do gimmicks, and you can win fights with him. Tech Janimba is up here just because like he can semi-work on Cooler's team. And then we just kind of get into units that are just like, you can kind of use them in red zone, but you don't really want to. Boo would be higher if we had like a LR Buhan, like to pair next to him, but his time has faded out, sadly. Really, there's like a big drop-off between, like, there's a huge drop-off, like, maybe here-ish? Somewhere in this zone. There's a drop-off somewhere here. And then there's another drop-off to them. And then I think a smallish drop-off to this guy. And then these two are like gimmick tiers. And then I think there's a huge drop-off to them. And then like an even bigger one down to like these last two. This Broly, he's got like damage reduction, but he just doesn't hold up. The only reason this guy's higher is because they buffed his dodge is now nullification. So you can get that against like Broly. So I figured, why not? Like, he was kind of fringe red zone whenever red zone first came out, just because there weren't any other options. They're up here because they have a decent heal, but this is kind of what I'm thinking. Don't spend too much time thinking about this. These are kind of ordered, but like it really doesn't matter. And really, even like honestly, like 8 through about Yamcha, you could probably argue into anybody into these slots. So except for Bardock and Yamcha, I don't like these two. But if you want to say Tech Gohan's 10, sure, whatever, fine. If you want to say the androids are like 5, I mean, in the Broly fight, maybe they're number 1. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Piccolo fans are winning. I love it. This is, again, keep in mind the tiers. Somebody's going to be upset about this. I can't. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is a 45-minute video. I didn't mean for it to be this long. I appreciate it. This is a nice Sunday afternoon watch. So no, I'll have I'll have a Tau video coming out on Sunday too. Be on the lookout for that. Everybody's looking forward to the Tau video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys next time. I'm trying to center it, guys. I'm trying to. Oh no, in the video.